Here in Lesson 8 in PowerPoint, we're going to be working on adding graphics to a presentation. Now, presentation looks okay if all you have is text, but if you really want it to pop and be interesting for your audience, then you want to add graphics. And we're going to be inserting graphics and formatting them and changing them around. There's also information in this chapter on creating a photo album presentation. You can see it listed here. And that is something that you're going to be doing similar for the final project here for PowerPoint. But right now, let's go ahead and look at Chapter 8, look at the assignment, Project 8.2, and it's on page 317. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to add about 30 pages to that for the PDF files. And here we go. Project 8.2, our final touches. We're going to have a job fair presentation that we've put together, and we are going to back up. We need to do 8.1 first, and then we're going to be doing 8.2. So we're going to open up the job fair presentation from 8.1. And going to go ahead and save that as a job fair final. So save as, find my folder on my computer so I always know where I find my assignments. And we're going to call this job fair final. So we're going to come, we got 5 different slides. We're going to go ahead and come down here to slide 5. And we want to find a picture of a professionally dressed business person. So we're going to go to the online pictures icon. So here we've got online pictures right here. Now the difference between pictures and online pictures, the pictures are the ones that you've taken that are already on your desktop or already on your computer. Maybe the ones you've taken from your camera and you've downloaded to your computer. That's what the pictures is about. The online pictures are the one where we're going to actually go on the internet and download a picture. Now here in our screen we have Bing image search, and this, for whatever reason, Microsoft changes what they name things even in the middle of the year. So your textbook might say something different. But right here we're going to use the Bing image search, and we're going to search the web here. This is also where if you have pictures on your OneDrive account, you would look there. So here we want a professional business person. So we're just going to type that in, what we're looking for. And the first ones here are what's called Creative Commons. You can use these without having to cite where you got them when you're doing a formal presentation. So you can look through these and see if you like any of them. If you don't, you can click here and that's going to show all web results. But when you do all web results, you have to remember that some of those you'll have to cite the information, and in some instances you even have to pay them for the privilege of using their picture in your presentation. So if you can use the ones that don't require any citations, that's probably the best bet. So I'm going to come up here and let's see, I was hoping to find a man and a woman. Don't really see that, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on this woman here in the pantsuit, and then I'm going to click on insert, and you can pick, and it doesn't want me to use that one. So let's see about finding a different one. Don't know why it didn't like that, but every once in a while stuff like that happens. So here, let's click on this one and see if it's going to let me do that. Use this one. There we go. I can't explain everything that happens with the computers because I don't understand every little thing about them either, but I do know that sometimes if it doesn't work one way, then go back in and just try a different picture. And you can see I've got my picture here. Makes my presentation pop a little bit more having a picture on that side. Okay. All right, now we're going to change the size. We want to change the size so it's 3 inches wide. So up here, when you have your picture selected, you're going to have this contextual toolbar up here for picture tools and format. So anything you want to do to the picture, you can do right here. And we want to change the width to 3 inches. So right here is our size. And so I'm just going to click on that and change that to 3. You can see it shrunk it down 3 inches. Now, if I go to my View tab, we talked about the ruler. We already have it on here. But if we have the grid lines, you can see the little dots. These are called the grid lines, and that's what allows you can move your pictures and graphics around to be specifically where you want it to be. And we want to use the grid lines to align the top of the picture with the top of the text. Okay. So up here, the competitive salary, it's lined up with this grid line right up here. So I need to move this and move it to where it's lined up with the top of that text. Okay. Now, I don't like having the grid lines on, so I'm going to go ahead and turn them off just by deselecting the grid lines right here. Now I'm going to come back up here to my Format tab because I want to change the way my picture looks by using the picture effects. So right here in the Picture Styles area, I have Picture Effects. I have borders. I have different things I can do with my picture to make it look better. I'm going to click on Picture Effects, and I want to put a shadow on it, and I want it to be an offset right shadow effect. And that's under the outer heading. So I'm going to offset right shadow effect. So it's right here, offset right shadow effect. Not easy to say. Okay. And so that's the way it wants our picture to look. And so now we're ready to save our presentation. And you're ready to submit that job fair final for Project 8-1. Now when you have time, look up here at the Format tab. There's all sorts of other things you can do with your pictures. So don't be afraid to play around with it when you're working with your PowerPoint presentations to make your presentations your own personal favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here, save this, and submit it for Project 8-1.